Good morning. It is now like 6 o'clock, I think. We left Rexburg at 4, so I am beat. However, Jacob's with me. He's actually right in front of me in the pump, and the job should be pretty nice. It's gonna be nice to have two of us, at least for the beginning, to get it all set up. So we're gonna stop at Maverick really quick, get something to drink, wake us up, and then we're gonna head over there. So, should be kind of cool. Well, we just rolled up, and Jacob's on his way. So this is where I'm a little hairy on our setup. I'm not sure how this is totally gonna work. As you can see, it's gonna be really tight right here. He's gonna get out, we're gonna kind of assess this, and then I think this little tree might have to go. So we'll just figure it out. So I was gonna mention too, the reason this job is so specific, I mean, if you look around, it's a protected something, wildlife something or whatever. So they're putting in a tennis court on a specific spot that's not protected. So that's why to cut down that little tree, even though it was dead, was a huge deal. They had to go through, I had to talk to them yesterday, and they had to get permission from quite a few people to do that. So because of that, they have to be really specific about how clean they are. So we have to prime out in a pan, all that kind of stuff, which isn't a bad thing, but just makes it really tricky. I mean, this was their only access right here. This is the only area they were able to disturb. Really picky about that. So that's why having the green pump here is nice. He's getting set up so we can prime out in the pan. We'll actually be priming out over timberline. I mean, they'll be right here and we'll be over top of them. So that's kind of cool. So that was probably the tightest setup we've had in Jackson thus far. What do you think? I'm trying to think of the sporting club. Nothing's been too crazy.
Those alleyways in downtown over there by West Kelly.
Pretty tight.
Remember that first job we did? We did the footings. It was where Chris yelled at me. We did it with the yellow trimmy. It was like right on the street.
Oh, you're right.
You know, there's an alley right down that way.
You got power lines.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. We also did that one for Moses. Remember that other first? Well, were you there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done some really tight stuff.
And that one, we did that one for free.
Yeah. So that one he called because we only had a pump for like maybe 2 weeks. So he said, yeah, we'll show up and do it. But it was super tight because we had power lines at a 90 degree on both sides of us. So we had to go up a little bit, kick over, and it was just, that was probably the tightest, but this is pretty close. Yeah, so Jacob's actually peacing out here in a little bit. He's got a pour in Island Park, so he came to get me all set up, and I was on the fence about having him come for this part, but I'm glad we did because that was tight. So let's throw that in PTO, and then let's watch our back outrigger and see how she does.
Gonna sponge today.
Well, the reason he says that, if you look at our deck pipe, it is sloped so far this way, a bucket probably will never get that clear. It will just sit up there and you'll have rock pockets in the front, so we don't want to do that. Really quick, I was going to kind of point this out to you, and Jacob did some cool stuff in the bottom, so I'll let him explain that.
Well, basically, there's the setup. It's kind of on a slant, so
Hey,
you
Ben,
stack
what's up?
a few up and just make a pad. So, yeah, I guess that's it. It does. I know it doesn't look very nice, but it'll do.
Yeah, yeah, so like Jacob was saying too, another thing we did was we sloped it down on purpose. Got that one all set. You can see it was a little bit, we tried to layer it as best we can so that there's no stress on any individual boards. So we have double stacked here, a thinner one here, and then just single there. Well, these pumps can do some amazing things. I mean, look at your front tires. You're a good 14, 16 inches off the ground. It was nice. I like to have him go set up the other side. Oh, see, he's going again. Well, I'm over here because I like to sit there and watch stress points, watch anything bad that could happen underneath there, and we're good, I think. Oh, he got that. We might be able to suck a bucket. No? He's skeptical. I like the way we're at right here. it leveled us out a ton more. I mean, if you look now, we're pretty dang close. We're still a little bit pitched forward, but not bad at all. So we got our outrigger pad here. He's putting out his other side.
Just barely putting pressure on these back ones.
Yeah, something I was gonna point out, if I can avoid it, I actually don't like to be this high off the ground with my tires. Mostly just because as the pump moves, it kind of shifts around a little bit because you're on this much outrigger, you know? That's a lot of feet. It's nice to have some tire on the ground. I like to keep as much rubber contact as I can because it keeps everything from just wiggling. So, okay, you like it?
Yeah, I'd probably sign off on that.
I think
like you
good.
said, just I've never had a tire
that high off the ground.
Yeah, but then when I went over there to how we raised it up halfway, when I went over there, I mean, the front tire was buried in the fender, so it just probably get a little bouncy, especially once we get stretched out. But
I think being here though too, if you look where we're at, I think we're gonna have a lot easier time reaching that far corner.
You just gotta keep an eye on that.
I know.
Pole.
That's what I was looking at, which sucks, but I don't think there's any other way around that. But we also had to look at over here, something Jacob was talking about while he was in the cab. Timberline's gonna come in from here, right? So they have to have a straight shot to that hopper. Before we were kind of buried in the tree, and so this should be perfect for them, I think. Okay, so mud is until 7:30. We showed up at 6:30, which we normally just show up a half hour early. We showed up an hour early just for that complication. Now it's 7:02, we got a half hour to get ourselves out, test our corners, do all that stuff, and we should be perfect for when Timberline gets here. On the gray pump, you can see which way the hoses are folded up, so you can see which way they folded up last time. On this one you can't because they run all through the turret. There's a little sensor on the front that goes back and forth, so you can actually go up and tell. However, usually we just try to guess from the back, so he guessed right. Also, it's like, I mean, it's still kind of chilly out here. It is June 23rd, and it's cold.
To me, there's not much difference in running the Z and the roll and fold, because I run a Z like a roll and fold anyways, unless I absolutely have to, because you have to end in a loop.
Yeah.
It's better to prime in a loop, but it is nice. I mean, it took me 20 seconds, and then you're right there to throw your hose on and go. The roll and fold, you got to undo them.
Well, and we don't have to watch for trees up here. Another thing, a roll and fold, you'd be so far this way, that tree behind there would be kind of a headache. So that's one thing, one way that me and him run this a little bit different. I really like the Z, and he loves to run it like a roll and fold, which they both work good, so it doesn't really matter. Which means, so we're sitting like this, and the pan is right back here a little bit. So he has to come all the way around so we can reach that one. And another thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go ask them if they have any plastic. This truck just barely got washed. And if you look right here, we're gonna be right in line to get splattered like crazy from that mud. We're going to try to cover the front with plastic or something.
What he's saying, those pans you're charging me for, I don't need. He's probably mad about those pans being here.
I'm gonna try to find some plastic from these guys to throw over the hood. Okay, so Mud just showed up. We got Jared. He's gonna get his auger down. We'll back him up the rest of the way. That's horrible. They're all like this. Pretty good, you know, starting out.
Behind him.
It makes sense if you... Okay, Chris, give us some love.
I can't. Too hungover. Oh, he was barking, and now I'm like, I'm just gonna get lost.
Hey, can I steal some water from you before you take off? So, we just ran short. I don't think so.
We got another truck coming.
Okay, I'm gonna blow out whatever I can. I'm probably gonna leave so they can tailgate it.
Oh.
so I can get out of the way.
Yeah, I got you, yeah.
So like I was just telling him, this pour's so close, they're just gonna tailgate the rest of it. I'm gonna pour out what I got and see what they need. I'm just hopping. Right there. I'm not sure the best way to do this. I can only pull off this front. Okay, so that job was crazy. The first part all went great. I did wreck the drone in the first, you know, one truck, the first like 20 minutes of the job, and it is now unflyable, so we'll get that fixed. But anyway, the rest of the job went awesome. Just a little bit slow because of how long a drive it was to back into the pump. But Mills pumped it out as fast as they could, or busted it out as fast as they could. Pump was just rolling. Everything went awesome. Timberline never had its weight. And then at the end, we got stuck and just a whole bunch of other problems. So I finally got to Maverick. I put DEF in here, and then I just flipped the handle on the fuel valve so we'd have that. The problem was, that's the end of this video, but the day goes on. Because of all that, I have mud at 1. It's in St. Anthony, which is about an hour and a half away, and is now, or it's 1:18, I mean. So I talked to Walters and they were really cool about it, so they just have to wait. They haven't batched trucks yet, so they're just gonna hold off on that till we get there, but we probably won't get there till about 3, I think. So yeah, like 3. So anyway, I feel kind of bad about that, but it is what it is. And then actually Jacob, he's supposed to head to IF, and I think he's gonna be a little bit late too. It just kind of kicked everything back. So anyway, all in all, great job. Got a little rough at the end, but the truck's all clean and we're headed out. So either way, thanks for watching. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you on the next one.